Hello everyone, my name is AZZATRU, how are you, and welcome to another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video of mine. And in this video I'm going to be giving you my first impressions of Count Dooku in Battlefront 2. I've had a few days to play with him in a bunch of Heroes vs Villains games and a few Galactic Assault matches, and because it's the weekend and a bunch of you guys are going to be hopping into the game for the first time or having more time to actually play as Count Dooku, I thought it'd be a good idea to share my thoughts now I've had a few days to actually play as him, because I think giving my impression on him within a few hours of game time on Wednesday wasn't gonna be very good, so I thought I'd leave it a couple of days, see how things are once I've leveled him up a little bit, see how he plays against me and stuff like that, so I can give my thoughts. Most of my thoughts in terms of gameplay for Count Dooku will be coming from my Heroes vs Villains experience. I've probably had 3 Galactic Assault games that have not lasted long with Count Dooku because it's typically been the third phase. And there was one memorable one, the first one I got with Count Dooku was at the end of Crate, where I just couldn't get close to anyone. It was just ranged attacks coming at me, and I'll go into more details about this, which is a massive issue for Count Dooku later on in the video. But I've played like 10 or 12 Heroes vs Villains games, and I've got to level 10, so I feel like I'm comfortable discussing him right now. So first, I'll talk about how he is visually, how good he sounds, before getting into the abilities, the game balance, bugs, and stuff like that. So his default appearance is his Sith Lord appearance, and it's a perfect, true representation from the films. It's really, really awesome. He will be getting 2 Clone Wars TV show skins soon, one being the Dark Ritual skin, which is coming most likely in the hotfix on the 30th of January. That's what's been scheduled, but things could change between now and next week. And then there has been another one found in the files that is the Pajama appearance, so that may likely be a future appearance for Count Dooku in the near future. So Count Dooku's face was a hot topic before he even got revealed. Is he going to look good? Is he going to look bad? And to be honest, he's not perfect, but he does look good. And if you play on high settings on a PC or play on the Xbox One X, then it's going to look great. The base consoles really don't make him look so much like Christopher Lee, although lighting does play a big part in this. So on some maps like Geonosis, he looks a lot better than, say, the collection menu or some of the other maps. Even with the new and improved lighting in the collection menu, it still looks better in-game on a lot of the maps. Faces are the most challenging to create in art, especially recreating real people and those who have distinct faces. And for all we know, it's possible that this is how Christopher Lee's family and estate actually wanted him to look like. We don't really know those details, so it's entirely possible they had a say in how it works, because at the end of the day, they will have a final say in, is this going to be allowed, stuff like that. And that's what happens when it comes to real life people. Fans of the Clone Wars TV show will recognise Corey Burton's voice as Count Dooku. I do prefer Christopher Lee's representation of Count Dooku, both visually and his voice. However, it blends well in-game along with the other heroes. The lines they created and used for Count Dooku for his emotes and his standard voice lines in the game are great. It just sounds and feels like Count Dooku, which is what we need in this game. The victory poses look cool too, but there's nothing special in my opinion there. Animations wise, they're absolutely fantastic. They work so well and really do capture Count Dooku's moves in the films and the Clone Wars. I think his animations are some of the smoothest of any hero, and to be honest, overall he is one of the most well-made movie and show accurate characters in the game. Also, the lightning from his first ability looks stunning. Really great visual effects work there. As for how Dooku plays, I think his lightsaber combat is great, and so it should be. He has good stamina and good damage. After all, he is a master swordsman. He can handle 2 lightsaber heroes at a time, and his abilities are useful, but keep him pretty exposed at medium to long range distances. As an expert swordsman, the Jedi can be defeated well, but I'd say blaster heroes, are more specifically Han and Chewie, are Dooku's worst nightmare. In Galactic Assault, it can be difficult, patience is key. With so many blasters shooting at you from long range and all different angles, you really need to focus on those tight pockets on the map and utilize the lightning stun to get kills. You can get plenty of group kills, and if you do use that Duelist second ability, you can get plenty of trooper kills without needing the lightning stun. But you have to remember, some people might have certain star cards or weapons that can really do a lot of damage to you, especially from a distance. At close quarters, he is a master and can deflect lightsabers and blaster shots well, but his slower speed and lack of ranged attacks mean he is very vulnerable to lightsaber blaster heroes. He does have the extra dodge and quicker dodge use recharge unlike any other hero, which is useful in evading attacks from all distances. Now let's talk about his abilities. So his first ability is Lightning Stun, and this really showcases the amazing ragdoll physics and visual effects of this game. Yes, it is a stun ability, but it's not the worst, and it does have quite limited range, to be honest, even with upgraded star cards. It can't quite stun enemies on a different elevation level, so you have to be quite accurate with it, as opposed to something like Chewbacca's Shock Grenade or Lando's Shock. The lightning also does more damage the less targets it hits, which is a surprise balance choice for sure, but a welcome one. Next up for the second ability is Duelist, probably my favourite ability. When activated, Dooku's animation set for fighting is switched, and he will perform more powerful and fast attacks. You can tell when Duelist is active because he puts his left hand behind his back during combat. This ability is very good when you have multiple heroes in your way, or they just have a health buff. You can really take out heroes pretty quickly. The standard style of combat is how Dooku fights in the films. However, with Duelist, he fights like he did in the Clone Wars TV show, with his hand behind the back, expressing cockiness, and he also does more spins and has more intense arm movement from his saber arm. A really nice detail from DICE here. Expose Weakness is his third ability. You have to have your crosshair on an enemy and be close to them to activate it. You'll get more UI around the crosshair, acknowledging you can use it, like with Grievous's Thrust Surge. When activated, the target will have slower movement and take increased damage from you, as Dooku, and teammates, so it can be really lethal. If Dooku eliminates the target himself, the ability will be instantly recharged, so that's another thing to keep in mind. So all these abilities are fairly unique and have a lot of variables involved, unlike a lot of other hero abilities. This is why I feel like there is an easy to play aspect with Dooku, so if you're a new player or if you're just starting out with Dooku and you're a veteran player, you can get started and use his abilities, get kills, level up fairly quickly, but there is a higher skill ceiling if you want to master these abilities and star cards, much more so than other heroes in my opinion. As for bugs, there aren't many bugs for Dooku, to be honest, compared to Obi-Wan and Grievous. DICE have done a good job polishing up Dooku. However, his Duelist ability is somewhat broken. When you sprint or dodge with this ability active, the animation will revert back to the standard before you use Duelist. And this is only when you sprint or dodge, even if it's just once. Even if you just press the button once, the animation is different. I don't know about the damage. I'd assume the damage is perfectly fine, however. This is just going to be a bug, so it needs addressing as soon as possible. And this is the thing, because Dooku is quite slow. His base speed is pretty slow. It's not until he sprints or dodges where he actually has speed. So I'd definitely make sure you be careful with using this ability. Overall, I think the DICE quality you can expect for realism is showcased here once again with Count Dooku. He's well balanced, although he's on the more stronger side, which makes the dark side now really powerful. So we really need Anakin to come in and balance this up. In the coming days, more star cards will be unlocked and upgraded, so we can get a better perspective on balance when we do know how Dooku works, especially when you've started to level him up a little bit more. DICE's work on Dooku has made me extremely hopeful for Anakin to be less buggy than Grievous and Obi-Wan, be more accurate to the films, and have a great playstyle. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, be sure to drop a like and comment below your thoughts on this video and Dooku down below. Check out any of the two previous videos on screen if you did miss them, and I shall see you all in my next Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Goodbye.